Ganzi, a young honey badger, is carefully sizing up the creature in front of him, a scorpion. Despite its small size, the venom secreted from its curved tail can easily be deadly. But this morning, Ganzi has his eyes set on this high-protein breakfast. Even though honey badgers have evolved a certain immunity to venom, a sting still causes sharp pain. Today, however, the scorpion has met a truly formidable opponent. Using his strong, clawed paws, Ganzi firmly pins the scorpion to the ground. Then, he opens his mouth and prepares to feast. To maintain his high energy needs, a honey badger must consume at least 1 kilogram of meat each day. The scorpion is merely an appetizer to kickstart Ganzi's busy day. At 1.5 years old, Ganzi has just reached adulthood. He has left his mother's care and now begins his solitary life. Honey badgers are typically solitary animals, and young Ganzi must learn to fend for himself. His rapid metabolism pushes him to constantly seek food. Ganzi's home lies in central Namibia, a land of harsh and extreme climates that make survival a daily challenge. Though his eyesight is poor, his keen sense of smell is his most reliable guide. Soon, Ganzi picks up a scent ahead. It's a rock mouse. To avoid predators, this clever mouse has hidden itself inside a cactus-like plant, surrounded by sharp thorns. Despite the obstacles, Ganzi's thick fur provides some protection. Though the thorns pierce him painfully, he pushes through, driven by hunger. The rock mouse underestimated Ganzi's tenacity. With one swift move, Ganzi grabs the mouse, but in a surprising twist, the mouse breaks free and bolts. Ganzi, however, is nothing if not stubborn. He quickly regains his focus and recaptures the mouse. Finally, he earns his reward. His perseverance in this vast, unforgiving savanna has allowed him to secure his next meal. By noon, Ganzi has finished his rock mouse, but his food intake for the day is still far from sufficient. Under the blazing sun, prey becomes scarce. Ganzi's thick fur retains heat, making it difficult for him to stay cool. At this point, he halts his hunt and sprawls on the ground, taking a dirt bath, a technique he learned from his mother to cool off. But as the sun continues to scorch the land, he knows he must find water. Finally, he spots a small pond and submerges himself, bringing relief to his overheated body. However, the approaching sandstorm poses a new threat. The fine dust can enter the lungs, causing severe harm. Realizing the danger, Ganzi quickly climbs out and leaves, not daring to linger. His sudden hunger pangs return, urging him onward. Soon, he stumbles upon something astonishing, a lizard with an unusually long tail. Out of curiosity, Ganzi approaches, but this is an experienced warrior, an adult spiny-tailed lizard. Ganzi receives several sharp smacks from the lizard's tail, leaving him bleeding from his nose. Though painful, he learns an important lesson: not every creature should be approached lightly. Along his path, Ganzi marks his territory by secreting a strong-smelling substance. This serves as a warning to other male honey badgers to stay away and as an invitation to females. As dusk approaches, Ganzi continues searching for food. His mother's words echo in his mind: "The harder you work, the luckier you get." By the riverbank, he discovers a wildebeest carcass, still slightly moving, but already trapped deep in mud and too weak to stand. Ganzi is not a picky eater. He moves in carefully and begins to feast. Sensing danger nearby, he eats as much as he can, but he is not greedy. After several large bites, he quickly retreats, constantly checking behind him to ensure he's not being followed. Thus ends another day in Ganzi's life. But tomorrow, the cycle of seeking and surviving will begin again. The next morning, while foraging, Ganzi unexpectedly wanders into an ostrich nest. He isn't there to pick a fight. He vaguely remembers his mother bringing him here once to steal eggs. Today, he finds broken eggshells scattered across the ground, evidence that other predators have visited. Luckily, there is still one intact ostrich egg left. Ganzi knows that cracking this egg won't be easy. He rolls it against a sturdy piece of wood, trying to crack it open, but the egg's smooth and tough shell resists all attempts. Determined, Ganzi refuses to give up. He wedges the egg under a tree stump and presses down with all his strength. Finally, after repeated crushing and pushing, the egg cracks. Using his sharp claws, he tears open a large hole and eagerly laps up the rich, nutritious contents. Just as he finishes, the father ostrich returns to find his nest raided, but Ganzi has already fled, leaving nothing but empty shells behind. Following an unfamiliar scent, Ganzi is led to something new. It is not the smell of food, but the scent of a female honey badger. Instantly intrigued, Ganzi approaches her. They recognize each other by scent, and before long, they are hunting together, sharing the rewards of their labor. Spring brings more abundant and diverse food, and as their bond deepens, they enjoy each other's company under the stars. However, honey badgers do not practice monogamy, nor do males help raise offspring. The next morning, the female has vanished. Ganzi returns once more to his solitary life. He survives the dry season alone. Now, Ganzi has become a seasoned predator, confident and fearless. Today, he sets his sights on a new challenge: honey. Few creatures dare to disturb a beehive, but honey badgers are the exception. Drawn by the irresistible aroma, Ganzi cannot hold back. No matter how fiercely the bees defend their home, Ganzi's thick skin protects him from stings. Even when stung, his body is resistant to toxins, allowing him to remain unfazed. Without hesitation, he tears open the hive, scattering the panicked bees. Ganzi bites into the rich honey, savoring its sweetness and the added protein from larvae inside. When he has eaten his fill, he leaves the hive, knowing it's unsafe to stay too long. As he departs, he checks for danger, always vigilant. Through countless trials, harsh climates, fierce predators, and punishing landscapes, Ganzi has grown into one of the savannah's most fearless creatures. His unyielding spirit defines him as the legendary honey badger, the ultimate symbol of bravery and determination.